Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is Kate Byers, founder of Corporate Women Unleashed, coming to you live today to talk about high achievers who may feel like good enough is never enough. And if that describes you, I want you to tune into this broadcast because we hear that a lot. And as a high achiever, I've been accused of that myself. So why is that such a bad thing? So enough is never enough. Why is good enough never enough? Well, raise your hand or type in the comments, whether you're watching this live or later and recorded, type in me too or number one, or put something in the comment that says, has anyone ever said to you, why aren't you ever happy? Why can't you just be satisfied? Enough is enough. Why are you driving yourself crazy? Here's why, and here's why it matters, okay? The reason is that in our psychology, the DNA of the high achieving woman, if you will, or a driven professional woman, is this zeal and zest for solving problems. We love to problem solve. We love to look for challenges. We love to, hey Maggie, we love to find solutions. And so what's happening is we're always looking for a problem. I hate to say it. Funny enough story, when I first was married, my husband, I'm decorating the house, whatever, my first house with my husband. I'm so excited. And, I put in the new floors and I'm like, oh, we got the floors in. Now we need a couch. We get the couch and then we need curtains and then we get curtains and we need to, redo the bathroom. And my husband's like, what is going on with you? He's like, we just did all this stuff. Can't you sit down? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like I had no idea that the cray-cray was upstairs in my head, right? So, hey, Master Maggie. And so here's what's going on, guys. This is embedded in our psychology, and these very driven behaviors are what drives us to work and work and work and work well past when we need to stop, okay? And if you do not understand this, like a lot of the women we work with, they've already outsourced everything in their life, right? Outsourcing is done. It's not your boss. It's not your industry. It's not your company. I know you work in a really tough industry. I know you work in a male-dominated industry. I know you work in outside-facing client service. I know you work in an internal department that's not well-funded. Believe me, we've heard it all. I get it. That is not what this is about. Hello, Kate Harvey, one of our amazing clients. What this is about is your internal psychology from a very young age has been trained that work and solving problems is fun, okay? And so we do it over and over and over again until we drop in exhaustion. And we make work way much harder than it needs to be. I remember one time saying to my boss, I think I was a director, maybe I was just a newly minted VP. I said, why is it every time I finish some massive initiative, make the company money, whatever it is, that there's another thing right behind it? I just felt like there's like this row of hoops, and it's like jump through the hoop, jump through the hoop, jump through the hoop. And my boss is like, because you'll do it, Kate. Like, you take it on. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's not so positive all the time. Look, guys, it is amazing to be someone that is wired this way. It is your greatest strength that you have such a high pain threshold that you can take on super ambitious projects, drive teams to performance, and get incredible results. That's amazing. Where it is hurting you and where it damages your life is that you can't turn it off because you are constantly looking for problems, and problems don't go away. And the higher up the ladder you go and you get into the executive ranks, not only do the problems not go away, but they're not easily solved, right? Now you're working in the world of gray. There's no more black and white. There's no more, staple the corner of the paper and it gets done. Now you've got real initiatives, real challenges. And if you can't turn it off because you love solving problems and you're AKA never happy, then you're going to just drive yourself crazy. And this is why we have so many executive women who are overweight, right? Well, as soon as this problem is solved, as soon as I get this project tackled in 3 more months, when this happens, then I'll start to get back to the gym. Doesn't happen, right? Or you go home at night and you're going to have this great, dinner out with friends, or you've told your husband, yes, I'll be totally available to you at 9 o'clock tonight when I get home. And instead you're distracted because why? You're still solving problems in your head. Can't turn it off. Okay. So the root cause of this, guys, again, is not getting a new job. It's not quitting your job. It's not moving to a beach. Believe me, I tried that. It is learning how to understand and manage your own psychology so you can come at your career at a different level of operation. Okay. And it's a knife's edge because on one end of the high achiever psychology, you don't want to stop striving. Right? We still want to strive. And there's times when good enough isn't enough. And you have to be able to make that call at the office. Guys, enough. This isn't good enough. We truly do need to take this to a new level. We need to keep looking for a better solution. But you will find that when you understand where this is coming from in your psychology, that is far less the rule. It's more the exception. There are other times when, okay, look, we still need to find a better solution, but not tonight. I'm going home right now, and you people need to go home, and you need to let your team have a higher quality of life, right? Or do you really need to get on that airplane? Like, that was my big thing. I thought I had to be everywhere all the time because there was all these problems that had to be solved. There was one in Asia, there was one in Russia, there was one in Mexico. I better be there. I've got to solve these problems. And there are so many different ways to solve problems other than it being you. And it is good enough, right? A lot of times you're not focusing on your results. You're so focused on the next problem up ahead of you instead of replenishing yourself. So that's where you've got to understand how to walk on that knife's edge. And so the other side of that knife edge is, well, now I'm just going to let go. Like the women we work with, because you are wired this way with this DNA, it's really scary to think about not being a problem solver, not being a high achiever. Well, does that mean I'm not going to achieve? No. It means you get to decide when and where and how you're going to achieve. And it's a knife's edge, because if you give up too much, it's not about getting sloppy. It's not about saying, I don't care. That's going to create and breed resentment in the fact that your work is no longer up to snuff. Or if you step back, now you're going to be resentful as hell, is that, you know, you've given up something that you're really well equipped to do just so you could stop the craziness going on upstairs in your head. On the other side, if you don't learn to control it and you don't learn to identify it and see where your psychology is making decisions for you, then what happens is you're going to live a life of regret, right? Because you're imploding your marriage, you're imploding your health, and all you're going to have is a big pile of money at the end of your life. And that's not really what we want, right? You want to live your best life now. And so like the women we work with, they're like, Kate, I don't care what I have to do. I want my best life. This isn't the best life. I got some good stuff. I want my best life. And I know that I am driving myself, and I've got to learn to operate at a whole new level. So, okay, Gretchen is saying time management skills helps me a lot. Sure, well, time management can help, right? So if you need to just better organize your time, that's great. But things like choose your battles and, you know, you need a better use of your time, those are surface level strategies that can certainly be helpful. And I agree with you, Gretchen, but that doesn't solve your inner drive. Okay, so like we work with women who all the time are like, they've tried time management, they've outsourced their entire life to, you know, nannies, au pairs, chefs, people, personal assistants, all that kind of stuff, and they're still working and working and driving and driving. It's the inability to shut off your mental state. It's the ability to not feel guilt, and so that emotionally you feel completely aligned, calm, and confident in the choices you're making, whether it's personal or you're professional. So it's a lot more than just calendar management and making sure that you've got your priorities straight. When you're working in an uber demanding career, everything's a priority. Everything's a forest fire. Everything's a crisis, right? I mean, that's what it's like to be an executive. You've really got to learn as a high achiever how to walk along that knife's edge and make those decisions better so that you are taking care of your own well-being, you're protecting your mental and emotional state, and you're making decisions that are objective, not based on old psychological habits that you've picked up over time, right? And so ultimately, you know, and I used to do this when I was a kid too. I was like, you know, I make my bed, and then I've got to get an A on my paper, and then I've got to, you know, go out and make the best cookies, or like there's just all these things you're constantly trying to do. And that's also why a lot of high achievers have a hard time sitting down. I don't know, not all of us, but a lot of times, like I used to drive in my car and I couldn't like not have the radio on, right? I used to, if I found myself with 15 minutes spare time on the weekends or something, it was like, oh, maybe I should clean my house. Or, you know, it was like I always had to be doing something, because mentally I didn't understand that I had this constant drive to be looking for problems to solve, and it feels good. And that is why, as a habit, it can be very, very hard to break, because we either can use willpower. Okay, willpower is, I am absolutely going to, whatever, shut off my phone at 8 o'clock tonight. Great, and you do it, and it works for a while, and then something blows up in the office, and 3 months later, you're on your phone all the time, or you're on the laptop all the time. You are not going to find sustainable shifts and changes in your life if you are wired to have this high achiever DNA, because you're not addressing the root issue, which is that DNA, right? And I call it DNA. It's not really DNA, but it is this mental state. So if that is not addressed, all the different strategies that you can put on top of it I used to have a girlfriend who's like, hey, you should get up every day and meditate. Meditating is the answer. And I'm like, oh my God, meditation, yeah. So I ran to meditation and I meditated, dragged myself out of bed early and I meditated and it didn't work. And I'm like, I still am working my butt off. I'm still unhappy and mentally stressed. When do I get to reach the sense of calm? And it wasn't until I learned to tame my psychology and understand that these old written rules in my head was having me constantly look for problems to solve, that I could say, I see a problem over there that needs to be solved, but I don't have to take care of it right now. Or you know what? Maybe it's not even my job to take care of it at all. Maybe it's somebody else's. But truly, you can't see it. Like a lot of our clients, they just don't even see that stuff. We have, they just don't even see that they're getting involved in areas in their corporate environment that they don't even need to be involved in. They would swear up and down, oh my God, no, Kate, this is everything I have to do. And then we start working with them and we help them see what's going on in their inner self, and then they can project it outward into the strategies that they're using and the decisions they're using. And it's like, oh my God, there's all these things that I'm involved in at work that either I could slow down the timeline, I could rescope the project, I could lead my team differently, I could make different decisions with my leadership team that really will affect the quality of our life, right? And so that's what it's all about. So listen, if you are a high achieving woman, if you're an executive woman, if you're a woman who's achieved great success in your career and you're thinking, hey, this was supposed to be more fun. What happened here? It's not getting any easier. And I thought it was. We totally get it. We understand. I want you to book a call with us because truly, let's look at what's going on for you. 9 times out of 10, it's not your boss. It's not your job. It's not the industry you're in. It's probably the way you're operating. And a lot of times where you're operating from is this high achieving psychology where enough is never good enough. And talk about a huge transformation. I mean, you can learn to mentally turn off. You can learn to bring the softer side back into your relationships. You can start having fun again and feeling really calm and cool and collected as you go through your day, so where it flows. If that's where you're needing to be and you're ready for that type of life, then book a call with our team. We'll talk to you. We'll diagnose what's going on. If we can help you, great. If not, we'll get you to someone else or suggest something else for you. And it really is. It's a really cool 45 to 55 minute call where we have a lot of good fun. But again, you need to be someone who is working at that level where you've achieved quite a bit and enviable success. Let's just say it that way in your career. I'll let you define the title yourself. And you know that you've got to operate at a different level if you're going to create freedom in your life and have your best private life. So hope you guys enjoyed today's broadcast. Thanks everybody for jumping in. Love all the comments and interaction. Feel free to leave a comment, even if this is recorded and you're watching it and hours or days later, we'll come back in and respond to you. We love doing that. And I'll see you guys for the next live soon. Take care.